Two American influencers have been arrested in Japan over a stunt targeting Punch the Monkey for money and clout. We're going to get that today on The Legal Mindset, where we teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney. So this, in case you don't know, is Punch.
Meet Punch. The 6-month-old Japanese monkey was abandoned by his mother at birth, but zookeepers stepped in, caring for him day and night by hand. And his surrogate mom? A plushy orangutan that is now his safe place and a stand-in for his mother's fur. Punch's story went viral, with many both on and offline cheering him on. Now he is slowly joining the troop, but still clings to his stuffed friend.
Now, Punch is very adorable, as you can see, and because of that, certain influencers look to take advantage and create a stunt to promote their cryptocurrency. So this just happened in Japan.
Video from a Japanese zoo shows a person jumping into an enclosure full of monkeys while wearing a bizarre costume with a big, goofy, smiling head. Officials were not smiling and say 2 Americans who deny the allegations were detained following the stunt, which happened to take place in the enclosure housing the internet-famous Punch the Monkey. Yes, that Punch the Monkey.
So after that crazy incident, police took both people involved. There were 2 suspects into custody. They were both, of course, Americans. They were confirmed by the Ichikawa Police Department as 24-year-old university student Reed Janai Dason and 27-year-old singer Neil Jabari Dewan. So once again, we're dealing with Americans here that are coming over to Japan and bringing the same sort of nonsense, the same sort of antics, the same sort of putting stuff on social media for clicks and clout, willing to do anything and everything for clicks and clout. They're bringing that over to Japan. Why? Well, because they view Japan as particularly easy, just as Johnny Somali did. Now, some further facts here. The sudden appearance of the bizarrely dressed intruders severely panicked the resident monkeys, which included Punch the Monkey, causing the terrified animals to flee and huddle together in fear at the very top of the artificial mountain. Quick-thinking zookeepers rushed to the scene, immediately removing the costume trespasser from the enclosure before any physical harm could come to the animals or the intruders. So Punch the Monkey, unharmed in all this. No monkeys were harmed in this. However, they were scared, and that's a really big impact on the animals, and that's not okay to do, even if you're not touching the animal or interacting with them. Jumping into that enclosure can actually really damage the animals psychologically. That can damage the relationship with the zookeepers, etc. That's not something that is okay even to do if you don't interact with the animal. It goes on to say it was later revealed that this appalling stunt was orchestrated purely as a promotional gimmick for a cryptocurrency meme coin. Now, this strategy is pretty straightforward. These guys buy into this meme coin, create this meme coin, go pull this stunt, and any news is good news for them, even bad news, right? It will lead people to that page. And unfortunately, in the world in which we live in, there are people that will buy this cryptocurrency, even though it's something bad. They will buy it because they know there's going to be more eyeballs on the page. And all it takes is 1 out of every 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people, just one person to buy that meme coin stock, even if they don't like what happened, just thinking, oh, well, I could make some money on this because there's going to be a lot of attention on this and it's going to go up. The stock on that meme coin goes up, the value goes up. The people who own that coin, who bought in early, particularly the influencers that were involved in this, sell the coin and make an amazing profit. Could be 5, 10, 20, 100x, 1,000x, who knows? They can make a bunch of money, and that money will obviously pay for almost any fine that's levied on them. The fines are way too low to handle these sort of schemes that involve cryptocurrency and allowing that cryptocurrency to pump. They go on to say law enforcement officials are currently investigating the pair on suspicion of forcible obstruction of business, which is going to be the criminal charge, which we're going to get into. Takashi Yasunaga, the director of the city's Zoo and Botanical Garden Division, expressed profound disbelief at the unprecedented situation and firmly requested that the police take strict action against the perpetrators. And I could not agree more. This sort of thing needs to be cracked down hard. And because it wasn't cracked down on hard with Johnny Somali, this is something that ended up happening again. And in case you guys forgot the incident where Johnny Somali was arrested on exactly the same charges, obstruction of business, take a look here.
Oh, He's going into the warehouse? Nah, this is wild. Oh, he's mad. He's getting mad. Oh, he's whoa! Pressing him.
So let's review the criminal charge, which once again is the same as that Somali incident we just watched. The forcible obstruction of business is obstructing another person's business by use of force, even if no direct violence occurred. So going in there without permission, entering a place where you're not supposed to be, that's obstruction of business. There's various categories of obstruction of business. This one is forcible. That is prison with labor up to 3 years or a fine of 500,000 yen, which is about 3,200 USD at the current exchange rate. The exchange rate is actually very favorable right now. But as you can see, the fine alone is not going to be enough. If they put any money in that meme coin, it's likely going to have pumped enough for them to, or grown, if you don't know the crypto language, it finally has grown enough for them to easily pay a 3K fine. So if they put, let's say, $100 in that, and this thing, 100Xs or whatever else, 200Xs, whatever, they're going to more than make that money back. That money is going to be way, way, way more than whatever that little small fine is. So it's not enough just to drop that fine. And it's certainly not enough to do what they typically do in these cases and just give Americans a slap on the wrist, deport them. Maybe you blacklist them from Japan, which means they can't visit Japan for the next 5 years or so. Yeah, maybe you do that, but that's not enough by itself. That typical punishment doesn't work. And we see this with, once again, cases like Johnny Somali, where they go off and commit crimes in other countries. They go off and do things for clout, for money, etc., all across the world. They need to face that actual jail time. Some part of that up to 3 years needs to be fulfilled. That brings me to my judgment. The perpetrators need real jail time, not just a fine and deportation. These nuisance streamers, copycats, etc., they are not going to stop unless they get real jail time. Failure to punish them harshly will absolutely invite more copycats, tourist stunts, and nuisance streamers who seek to exploit and ruin Japan. They really are turning Japan into their own personal backyard, their own personal theme park. They're messing around at temples, on the bus stations, the metro. Really, nothing is sacred to these people, and they will do anything for money, clout, and attention. People will do this for the clicks. They do not care. And they do this because they view Japan as a place where they can get away with anything, where they can do whatever, and the Japanese are just going to say sumimasen and move on with their day. But they need to not do that anymore. This needs to stop. And for the longest time, they perhaps have been worried that Americans are going to be concerned that their citizens are being locked up abroad, and maybe the embassy might say something. But I can tell you, having covered nuisance streamers like Johnny Somali, Vitali, all the ones on my channel that I've covered, and now this incident, this is something that is pretty unifying for people, right, left, center, young, old, etc. Nobody likes these nuisance streamers. These nuisance streamers and these influencers that are pulling these negative stunts have extremely small niche audiences, and often they're just doing it for money and clout. They don't care if everybody hates them. So nobody is going to cry for them if they get locked up for 6 months, a year, 2 years, on charges related to messing around abroad. And the fact that they're streaming should be looked at as a factor to aggravate their sentencing. But I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. I know we need justice for Punch.